Welcome, everyone. I'm Sue Onishchuk, and congratulations. Congratulations for being here as we begin together the sharing of the 365 lessons of A Course in Miracles. Now, if you have had an opportunity to view a couple of my other videos prior to this, then you have some sense of the Course in Miracles if you have not, in fact, studied the Course before now. And if you haven't, I would encourage you to go back and to review those lessons. They are directly from the book, A Course in Miracles. Also, I want to say that if you don't have the text as of yet, then you can go to ACIM.org, and the full edition of the text and the workbook and the manual for teachers, clarification of terms, is all there at acim.org. So today, to get started, what I would like to do, and it is all directly from the Course in Miracles text, is to start off with giving you, reading to you and commenting where necessary, or where I'm directed, I should say, to do so, about the introduction to the workbook for students of A Course in Miracles. And then we'll proceed with the first lesson. Again, congratulations for taking this on and committing to yourself to complete these 365 lessons. And I hope that these videos, in fact, will assist you, as many others who have done these types of videos have supported me in my journey on the path of A Course in Miracles. So let me begin with the introduction, which again, I'll be reading from the book itself. So if you have the book, you might want to take a moment, maybe stop this recording and get your book. Alrighty. The introduction of the workbook for students of A Course in Miracles. Number one, a theoretical foundation such as the text provides is necessary as a framework to make the exercises in this workbook meaningful. Yet it is in doing the exercises that will make the goal of the course possible. An untrained mind can accomplish nothing. It is the purpose of this workbook to train your mind to think along the lines the text sets forth. Secondly, the exercises are very simple. They do not require a great deal of time, and it does not matter where you do them. They need no preparation. The training period is 1 year. The exercises are numbered from 1 to 365. Do not undertake to do more than one set of exercises a day. The workbook is divided into two main sections. The first, dealing with the undoing of the way you see now. And the second, with the acquisition of true perception. With the exception of the review periods, each day's exercises are planned around one central idea, which is stated first. This is followed by a description of the specific procedures by which the idea for the day is to be applied. The purpose of the workbook is to train your mind in a systematic way to a different perception of everyone and everything in the world. The exercises are planned to help you generate the lessons so that you will understand that each of them is equally equally applicable to everyone and everything you see. Transfer of training in true perception does not proceed as does transfer of the training of the world. If true perception has been achieved in connection with any person, situation, or event, total transfer to everyone and everything is certain. On the other hand, one exception held apart from true perception makes its accomplishments anywhere impossible. The only general rules to be observed throughout, then, are: first, that the exercises be practiced with great specificity, as will be indicated. This will help you to generalize the ideas involved in every situation in which you find yourself, and to everyone and everything in it. Second, be sure that you do not decide for yourself that there are some people, some situations or things to which the ideas are inapplicable. This will interfere with the transfer of training. The very nature of true perception is that it has no limits. It is the opposite of the way you see now. The overall aim of the exercises is to increase your ability to extend the ideas you will be practicing to include everything. This will require no effort on your part. The exercises themselves meet the conditions necessary for this kind of transfer. Some of the ideas the workbook presents you will find hard to believe, and others may seem to be quite startling. This does not matter. You are merely asked to apply the ideas as you are directed to do. You are not asked to judge them at all. You are asked only to use them. It is their use that will give them meaning to you and will show you that they are true. Remember only this: you need not believe the ideas, you need not accept them, and you need not even welcome them. Some of them you may actively resist. None of this will matter or decrease their efficacy. But do not allow yourself to make exceptions in applying the ideas the workbook contains. And whatever your reactions to the ideas may be, use them. Nothing more than that is required. So to summarize that, and I really encourage you to read that over a few times as you're beginning to do the lessons, is to remember to do only one lesson at a time. When I began the Course in Miracles, I was listening to Marianne Williamson, and she said, it's okay to do the same lesson for 3 days in a row, but don't go beyond that. Of course, I tend to be quite a perfectionist, and I started off by doing each lesson for 3 days in a row. Now, you do what works for you, although you may find it's perfect to do one lesson per day. Just do not try to do 2 or 3 lessons in one day. It's not necessary. It actually will affect the process. But I want to read the last paragraph again, because it says again, remember only this: you do not need believe the ideas. Might be different for you. You need not accept them. And you need not even welcome them. And again, some of them you may actively resist. None of this will matter or decrease their efficacy. But remember, do not allow yourself to make exceptions in applying the ideas the workbook contains. And whatever your reactions to the ideas may be, use them. Nothing more than that is required. All right, so we're going to go on now to the first lesson. And these first lessons are considered to be part 1 of the workbook. There's 2 parts. And part 2 is down the road. So, okay, so lesson 1. Again, remember to follow the directions. And this lesson is titled, Nothing I See in This Room, on this street, from this window, in this place, means anything. Now, look slowly around you and practice applying this idea very specifically to whatever you see. This table does not mean anything. This chair does not mean anything. This hand does not mean anything. This foot does not mean anything. And this pen does not mean anything. Then look farther away from your immediate area and apply the idea to a wider range. That door does not mean anything. That body does not mean anything. That lamp does not mean anything. That sign does not mean anything. And that shadow does not mean anything. Notice that these statements are not arranged in any order, and make no allowances for differences in the kinds of things to which they are applied. That is the purpose of the exercise. The statement should merely be applied to anything you see. As you practice the idea for the day, use it totally indiscriminately. Do not attempt to apply it to everything you see, for these exercises should not become ritualistic. Only be sure that nothing you see is specifically excluded. One thing is like another as far as the application of the idea is concerned. Each of the first 3 lessons should not be done more than twice a day each, preferably in the morning and in the evening. Nor should they be attempted for more than a minute or so, unless that entails a sense of hurry. A comfortable sense of leisure is essential. So that is the first lesson of the workbook of A Course in Miracles. And as you're going along in doing the workbook lessons, I strongly suggest that you have a journal and journal your experience of doing the lessons. As I said, these ideas may not suit you or may be very different for you. But again, it encourages you to do the lessons, to practice them exactly how it is stated. And from there, be a witness, be an observer of the miracles, the shifts in perception that show up for you as you do your lessons from day to day. All right. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you again for the next lesson, lesson 2.